So I already went ahead and pretty much removed all the contents of the box. The first thing you always want to do is obviously take it out, check all the contents to make sure there's no damages. This one is pretty heavy, so if you do not want to lift it up, say like if you have a stairs, just go ahead and take it one by one, because like I said, this is a pretty heavy piece. You need at least 2 people to carry it, 2 or 3 people. As you can see, I just kind of left it at my stairs. Since the outside is directly right there, I just kind of carry one piece at a time. Saves your back from, pretty much saves you from getting hurt. So, but yeah, I'm not going to bore you to the whole unboxing deal. I just kind of took it out. So I'm going to lay everything out, check the content, make sure there's no damages, and then go from there. Here's the second box. I went ahead and laid all the pieces. Here are all the hardware. There's more pieces right here. We're going to be replacing this to a bunk bed, so my 2 daughters can pretty much have their own space. But like I said, just kind of lay it all out and then go from there. This is also why you want to lay everything to where you can see every pieces. As you can see, one of them has a slight damage. I don't know if there's anything that rides along this, but this definitely needs to be moved. So whatever goes into this channel sits perfectly, like this damage was never even here. So I'm gonna mess with it once I start putting everything together, so I know what goes in here. But like I said, this is the prime example of what you want to do once you receive it, because this is a heavy item, so I'm sure they kind of dropped it when it's being delivered. So, but other than that, everything else looks pretty good. So we're gonna go ahead and get over our tools. It does look like the only tools you need for this one is this. A little tip, if you have a power drill, you can just cut it right here and then hook it up to your power drill, because I doubt you're gonna want to screw all of these one by one by hand. So the drill would definitely do you pretty good. And you also need a Phillips screwdriver, which again you can use your drill along with a mallet, because you're going to be using these pieces right here, the little dowels. And then other than that, that's really all there is to it. So we're going to go ahead and get started. First things first, go ahead and lay out all your hardware. And like I said, kind of just prep all the pieces together. Obviously you got to have the manual. So we're going to go ahead and start piecing this out and then show you what the update looks like. So the first piece is done. We're moving on to the next set. So we just completed step 1 and then step 2. It's actually pretty straightforward. So here's what it looks like so far. Now there will be one screw on the other side right here. So make sure you don't forget that. And that's also what this number 17 is showing. It's just kind of confusing a second because it doesn't show you that it's on the front, but you only need one of those. Screw that in and secure everything. So we have a little setback. This plastic piece broke off when I was trying to tighten it. This one's not even really metal, so that's kind of why it broke. It's the piece that locks on this panel right here. And there's only 2 of these. Would have been nice for the manufacturer to give an extra pieces. That way in an event like this, yeah. So I'm gonna have to go to Ace Hardware and pretty much get one of these. Hopefully they do have it. When you get the hardware, it's gonna come with these numbers right here in the bag. It'll correspond to the manuals number 3 and 15. They are 2 different sizes, so make sure you put them aside, count them, make sure, double check as well on the length. Like I said, they do come in one bag only, so one's shorter and one is longer. For the purse part, you're going to use the shorter side in the front, and then obviously the one with the longer piece, it'll take the longer screw. Make sure you have one of these, makes it a little bit easier to drive them in there instead of using your hands, which yeah, definitely makes it a lot faster. So yeah, long ones on this side, short ones on this side. Second piece is done. It's pretty much identical to the first one, so we're moving on to the fifth step. Don't you just hate it when furniture manufacturers give you these plastic flimsy twist locks. There's only 2 pieces in this big bunk bed that I'm assembling for the kids. And obviously it broke since it's made out of plastic. So I had to get a metal one from Ace Hardware. So do better. Oh, just got back from Ace Hardware. That one piece that broke off. Luckily Ace Hardware had one quantity in stock. And this is a metal one. The manufacturers give you this cheap flimsy plastic one. So obviously when it breaks, you're kind of on your own. Would have been nice to get these same metal ones from Ace Harbor Freight. It's about 85 cents. So it is what it is. Would have just been nice for it to come with metal anyway, since this part itself is supporting a lot of weight. So like I said, plastic, metal. Now that I got that piece locked in, this one is good to go. You do have to put this little block reinforcement. This is the one that I got confused about. From the manual, it was just showing that, and I couldn't figure out what it's supposed to do. But it's supposed to, I guess, support the front, which this is the front of the actual bunk bed where the drawer is going to be sliding in and out. So it's just like a little support block. But other than that, we're going to go ahead and move on to step 7. This is pretty much the completed step 7. As you can see, everything's pretty much tightened. Once you start assembling everything, you don't want to tighten all the screws because the dowel do need to get inserted to the opening. So leave everything loose and then tighten everything whenever you have all these little pieces pretty much assembled, and then tighten everything all at once. So we're pretty much in the step where we build the stairs. One of them is going to be long, the B6, and then B7. So pretty self-explanatory. One's long, one's shorter. It looks like there's going to be 4 B8s. Let me look at that real quick. Here's the 4 B8s. So it's going to have 2 dowels each side, and then a screw, which is number 18, which is this one. So it looks like I ran into a mistake. This D1 right here, I guess the screw holes for these longer pieces has to be in the back. And as you can see, I have it towards the front, which is these ones right here. So I need to take it back off, flip it around. That way those are going to be in the back. So it kind of sucks, but it is what it is. So to pretty much get this out, you have to loosen all of these pieces. That way it'll have enough slack to kind of make it slide out with the dowels and everything. So like I said, just had to loosen. I had to loosen all the way to the bottom, both sides. That way I can kind of push it out and slide that dowel out. With that little mishap or wrong way of going, I pretty much got everything now. See that little bar that's going to get mounted in the back? That's supposed to line up to 3 holes in the back. That's pre-drilled. So that's why I had to flip this one and this one the opposite way. That way the holes would line up perfectly to it. So it's a little setback, but we're going to keep on pushing. So now we're going to go ahead and put the bars that goes here. Should be 2 bars. So here's the update so far. We've got the stairs pretty much secured. All the bracing for the back and on the front. So we're going to go ahead and I believe the shelvings are next. So I'm going to look at the instructions real quick and then let you know which one is next. So I made another mistake on this part. I did have to flip it around. The flush side is going to be the top side, and then on the other side it's going to be a the screw head itself is going to be flushed. So that's the one that's going to be in the bottom before I have the flush side on the bottom. So yeah, I had to take this back off and flip it around and all is good. For this particular step, we're going to use the bracket right here, number 15 or 16, which are these metal L-shaped brackets. And then it looks like it's calling out for number 8, which are these screws right here. It'll be leveled number 8, kind of a small screw. So we're going to go ahead and screw those in. And it looks like it's a D7. So when I was putting this top shelf along with the bottom right here, I did have to loosen that back one again. And so is this one. As you can see, it's a little loose. That way I can slide the top piece in place. So far this has been a trial and error. Basically, to get one in, had to take something out or loosen something out just to get it to slide in. So, but that's the kind of stuff you got to encounter when it comes to building one of these. It's one of those things you find out kind of later down the line. I tried to understand the manual kind of ahead of time, but kind of didn't work. So, but overall, as you can see, it's kind of loose right now. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten everything back and then put the last screws that goes here along on the top as well. So here is the one that I just finished. These two little L brackets, both sides, along on the two top. And then we're going to move on. Let's see what we got. Looks like we already finished step 13, which is the one that I just did. Also the screws up top. Looks like D8, and then we're going to be, looks like fastening a lot of screws for this one at the back. Here's the number 10. Looks like it's gonna, looks like we're gonna use all of them for the back. Looks like it's gonna be these thin ones. It's already pre-drilled. So yeah, looks like we're gonna be busy in the back. Looks like this one has one screw that's not supposed to be there. So we're gonna go ahead and take that out and then use all the screws that they provide. So I got that long backing already screwed in. So it looks like we're gonna move on to the bracing for the bed itself or for the mattress, which are gonna be going across here. I'm gonna look at the manual again and then see what that looks like. Looks like for manual, we need to assemble the drawer on the bottom. So should be pretty easy. It's only 3 steps. Normal square. So I'm gonna go look for those parts and then assemble that real quick. I pretty much completed the bottom drawer already. Everything is assembled. So we're gonna go ahead and put the rollers. It looks like it goes only one way. It's already pre-drilled as well. So it has markings right there. And it looks like we need, well, that's an odd one. It's only showing 3 here, but there's a spot for 4, and it's only calling for 12 pieces. So that means it's gonna be 3 each, but there's only 3, 6, 7, 8. So I don't know if we're missing one or what, but not sure if got mixed into one of those. I'm gonna double check that. So I was mistaken. I thought it was these screws right here, and I realized I have another bag labeled number 8, which matches to number 8. Finally, the mattresses arrived. I'm just kind of letting them poof up per instruction. So, but my little girl's already started putting stuff in there. But so far, probably a couple of more hours and they should be able to lay on it. So overall, so far, it's pretty sturdy. I do like it. So I would highly suggest buying one if you can. It's definitely worth it for the girls. So other than that, hope you guys learned a little something. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a message. Other than that, peace. So we're on step 11. We're going to use these screws right here. It's going to be this platform that has like a little notch on both ends. We're going to do one up top. When you screw it in, make sure you line it up kind of flush to this bar right here. That way it looks pretty good and how it should be. So we're going to go ahead and move on to step 12, which I believe these are the D6. Yep. You're going to need 4 of them. It looks like it's going to get secured from underneath. So we just finished step 8, which is building the stairs right here. It's going to get held from the back. You got 1, 2, and then 3, 4. Now we're going to be building the support beam so the kiddo on the top doesn't fall off. And that's going to be the step 10. So my phone is kind of dying, so I'm just going to show you the bottom real quick. I already got the frame support kind of screwed in. I have to do the top one still, But these ones are going to have pilot holes. They're going to be very small pilot hole on the white side. So no matter how much you try to line it up, it might be easy, it might be not. But the way I encountered it is I can line this up, but as soon as I start tightening everything, it doesn't want to line up there. Now this one, you don't really have to line it up, but just try to make the boards straight. And that's all it really is to it. You don't have to get exactly where the pilot holes are, but it's pretty much equally spaced out. So just kind of use your best judgment. So like I said, it doesn't have to be perfectly straight, but the pilot holes are there. So you can use that, or you can kind of just eyeball it, whichever one works perfect for you. So I'm going to go ahead and do the top and then charge my phone and then show you the end result the next time you hear from me. Here is the bunk bed pretty much completed. It took about 4 hours to complete. I already got everything screwed down, so we're just kind of waiting on the mattresses to arrive from Amazon. We got the 6-inch twin mattress. So once that thing is arrived and installed, I'm gonna do another video and show you what that looks like.